Hey guys, thanks for joining me on another episode of Adventures in CNC. Today was kind of a rough day in the shop. Made a lot of mistakes, ruined some material, and I wasn't originally planning on showing this clip, me using a slightly different method for melting glue sticks. Opposed to using your hot glue gun. You just use a heat gun and you melt the stick. You get the stick nice and hot and you melt it onto spoil board to attach your workpiece to it. I do prefer to use glue sticks over using painter's tape and super glue. That's a slightly cleaner method, but I just like using hot glue, and this is a method that I found keeps the glue a little bit more sticky for a little bit longer. Here you just heat the glue up until you start to see bubbles in it. You can't actually see bubbles in the zoomed in image, unfortunately, but once you start to see those air bubbles develop in it, it's gotten hot enough to where it's going to stay pliable for a little bit longer, so you can get your workpiece straightened out and fastened to your spoil board the way you want it fastened, or in the position you want it fastened in rather. You just press it on there nice and tight, you hold it for a few seconds, and you've got it on there. And this is kind of about what the video is about, is holding your workpiece down and just paying attention to what you've got. This first clip of the video didn't pay attention to where I had my clamps, and right here you can see that plate bump right into my clamp and knock it loose, and it messes everything up. Pretty annoying. I'm not even really sure what that metal plate on the motor bracket is for the Z-axis. I don't know what it does, but there it goes. It bumps into it again. Knocked the workpiece off center and messed the whole thing up. I was pretty annoyed at that. I'm using a piece of figured sycamore. It's heavily figured. I've got more of it. I tried this 3 times, but it's just a waste of materials. The original video was supposed to be about using your CNC to rough a project in, and then you finish it up by hand. It's just a different approach to using a CNC. I thought it'd be kind of a novel idea, since everybody does the detailed work with the CNC, and then they rough it in by hand and then do all the detail work on the CNC. So I thought it would be interesting to do the project in reverse. You rough it in on the CNC and then you finish it out by hand. Unfortunately, after a couple of attempts of doing that, I just gave up. So here's attempt number 2. CNC, in this case, it digs in a little bit too deep, I think is what went wrong. No, take that back. The clamp isn't held down tight enough. The clamp slips. I didn't have it fastened right. I checked to make sure that the back clamp wasn't going to hit that stupid metal plate. I didn't check the tightness of the front clamp to make sure that it was completely tight like it's supposed to. So the workpiece starts to move and it ruins another nice, highly figured strip of sycamore. This stuff has got some beautiful grain patterns to it. I thought it would make a really lovely telecontrol panel. All it's made so far is just some kindling for my fireplace. So here it goes, punching those little holes in it. And the idea was that you get all these precisely marked out, and then you can go back in and finish them up with the drill. It's just like having a template and having everything nice and marked out, but you don't actually have to do the marking. You just stick it on the CNC and voila, you've got it marked out, and you make it by hand, quote unquote, right? But like I said, just not double checking things, I've ruined probably the nicer piece of the sycamore. Here we go again. This is attempt number 3, and this was really annoying. I made some alterations to the G code, and for some reason there were some errors in it, and it started hanging up. I also almost didn't record this piece. Somehow I messed up recording it, and I only got the last half. What the video doesn't show real well is the fact that I didn't plan everything out right, and I don't have the bit low enough so it touches the table, and that is intentional. Here it goes again. It's locked up. That's what happens whenever it slows down. So the G code is actually locking up, and I'm having to reset everything and then restart the G code from that spot in the file. So what I didn't realize is that the machine had actually bottomed out, and it doesn't even make contact with the piece of material anymore. So just poor planning all in all on this project, just kind of ruined the whole thing. So I could have, or I should have used a thicker spoil board for that last part. I didn't. Don't really know what I was thinking. I know that I have my CNC set up so it's not supposed to touch the work surface, but you know, it is what it is. You know, like I said, I ruined 3 pieces of highly figured sycamore in the process. So just whenever you're working with your CNC, just make sure that you got everything set up right. You've got the right clamp height, all that kind of stuff. Make sure that your motor mount's not going to bump into the CNC. All right, thanks for your time, guys. I appreciate you watching this video. If you would, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next episode.